It's just gonna be me for today. So I'm gonna be both your co-caster and your play-by-play caster. How amazing is that?
5 seconds.
So let's see what we have so far. We have Dreamer Esports banning out the Sand King, Spirit Breaker, Puck, Gyrocopter, while SG Esports banning out the Death Prophet, Tiny, Kunkka, and Enchantress. Pretty run-of-the-mill bans so far, with Dreamer Esports picking up Shadow Demon and Phantom Lancer in the first phase. SG Esports picking up Weaver, which is still relatively meta, but also Tidehunter, I guess to counter out the PL, and then a Jakiro too? My goodness, this should be a good one. Not only because of these picks, but also because this is a pretty high-stakes match we have here. We have Noping Esports going 3-1 so far, so they're pretty firmly in the lead. Winning against everyone 2-0, against for bloody Wolf team, against whom they lost 0-2, which is crazy to me. But then below that, we have Dreamers and SG Esports both on 2-1. So this could very well be the match that decides which of these teams is gonna make it to Division 1 next season, which is really, really exciting. I wouldn't want to be in the shoes of these players right now, because this is all or nothing. And Dreamer Esports was like, oh, this is a high-stakes match. You know what we need? We need to pick PL first phase. Oh, my goodness. The Shadow Demon I do agree with, because I think he's one of the most versatile supports in Dota ever. He's not only very strong defensively, but also has a BKB piercing disable, and he shuts down a lot of carry options for SG Esports. Heroes like Terrorblade or Luna or Dusa. Even Tiny are heroes you don't really want to pick against SD. So we'll see what they opt to go for, because they need a hero that is both good against SD and good against Phantom Lancer, which is quite difficult. Next up, Dreamers are gonna pick up the Rubik and the Mars. Interesting. I feel like we haven't seen a ton of Rubik, but Rubik, just like Earth Spirit, is one of those heroes where if you have a player that really loves the hero, it's actually always good. Just because of the design of the hero. Rubik, if there is good spells to steal, you can pretty much always make him work. And speaking about always making things work, we have Mars. Probably one of the top tier offlaners right now, together with Sand King. Just extremely tanky, really good in lane, and one of the highest impact teamfight ultis in the game, I would say. Interesting to see how SG Esports is gonna respond. They could go for a Weaver carry, because it's decent against Mars, decent against Shadow Demon, but it's not great against PL. And you can still try to make it work, but then you would need to have a mid laner that really deals well with illusions. So we'll have to wait and see what SG Esports goes for. Normally I would say Tiny is a good option, but they banned it themselves in the first phase. So yeah, that's pretty rough. So it's gonna be a Void Spirit first. They're still delaying this carry pick, which I am really not sure about, because they're gonna have last pick, right? And they already see the carry. So if they were to pick up a mid laner now, that means that their mid laner can get countered. And they still have the carry advantage, but if they pick a carry now, they can pick a carry with a good matchup against PL, and then Dreamer Esports is forced to pick their mid, and then they can pick their mid for SG. So they would have both a good matchup in the carry and a good matchup in the mid position. So I'm curious to see why they did this. So now for Dreamer Esports, it's gonna be a PA ban, which I think would have been an okay option. But PA always has the risk of being completely ran down in lane and then just being utterly irrelevant in the mid game, especially when there is a lot of magic damage and early pressure, and Dreamer's Esports definitely has that. And we have a Bloodseeker ban, which I agree with a little bit more. Just a pretty good hero. It fits the timing of SG really well. SG is gonna be banning out the Lesh.
10 seconds to
Pretty
go.
spooky matchup against Epulze.
5 seconds.
I would say it's one of the best heroes at dealing with illusions because he has the continuous magic damage AoE. Just really hard to deal with. And the Shard is really good against PL too. Just a constant split earths. And then the Timber is gonna be bad. Wait. That confused me for a moment.
10 seconds to
Lash
go.
is good against PL, but SG banned it. So they don't
5
want to play
seconds.
against it. I guess it's a pretty good matchup against Void Spirit too.
Dyer's pick.
Then it's gonna be Pango for Dreamos. But that is most likely going to be their mid laner. And SG goes for Luna into SD. This was literally one of the examples of heroes not to pick against Shadow Demon. And they just go ahead and pick it anyway. I really don't know why they would wait for last pick and then pick a Luna. They could have picked the Luna first and anticipated the Pango and just picked a good matchup into that. I mean, Void Spirit against Pango is an even matchup, like 50-50. And both of the heroes fulfill a very similar purpose. But still, the drafting order is so weird here. Either way, the drafts are set. I think I would give a slight edge to Dreamos. Because they do have the Shadow Demon against Luna, and I feel like the PL could have a very good game here. But I don't think it's super clear-cut. It's not like a 70-30 kind of game. I would say it's more like 60-40 in Dreamos Esports' favor. So we'll have to wait and see. See if I was correct about the positions. Oh. It's gonna be a Mars mid. Interesting. And it's gonna be the Pango offlane. Mars is slightly better against Void Spirit in the mid lane, although I still think that KXY is gonna have a good enough time to still get his farm and levels. But the Pango offlane is very interesting to me because by design, Pango is a way worse laner than Mars. And I feel like against the Luna Jakiro, I guess you're not gonna win it anyway. Because I don't think even if you do have a Mars plus Rubik, you're not gonna be able to win against Luna Jakiro or Luna Weaver for that matter. Both of those matchups are way too difficult. Of course, we do have a bit of a pause. As is to be expected from Dota. I'm quite curious to see how this Pango lane is gonna go then.
Alright, carry on.
Let's see. It's gonna be the Rubik going to the top lane, so it's gonna be Rubik Pango. That's one of those classic lanes where you don't expect to get kills, you don't expect to win the lane, but you do have some nukes that you can use to secure the range creeps. So no matter what happens, you're still gonna get at least some farm and levels. And then I think it's actually a pretty good call for them. Just cutting your losses and making sure that you're at least gonna win your safe lane. Looks like we could be having a little bit of action here. So my open mic is on. Yes. Pango. Getting gushed. Ooh, he did get the level 1 shield crash. Gonna jump over the hill. Has 45% damage reduction, but he's still quite slow. Luckily, this is level 1 Dota, so no one has a lot of mobility. The shield crash bought him just enough time for him to walk away scot-free. Looks like we could just be in for a basic 2-2 bounty trade, although SG still being a little bit aggressive here on the bottom lane. Lots of pressure coming out onto PL. It's gonna be 3 bounties in favor of SG Esports. Game is practically over, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. I think top lane is probably gonna be relatively static. Because as I mentioned, this is not a lane that is fighting to win. It's a lane that is fighting not to lose for Dreamers. And SG is gonna be perfectly happy with that as long as the Luna just gets the CS. Bottom lane could be a bit more interesting, but it's a PL against the Tide. It's another lane where there's not a lot of kill potential. Because Tide doesn't have a lot of kill potential in general. And PL is never gonna die to a Tide. So I anticipate quite a slow early game here. But if you look at these lineups, there is a lot of pressure in the mid game. Once we get some blinks going, be in for a doozy. Pango and Luna getting a little bit low. Of course, me anticipating that this could be a slow lane doesn't mean that it exactly is gonna turn out that way. Because you never know with SA Dota. I've had the pleasure of casting quite a bit of SA Division 2 Dota recently. And we've had some insane games. Where throughout the game at 4 different points I was fully convinced that the game was over. And then it just kept giving. So far, lanes are going relatively evenly. Of course, Mars, pretty decent mid laner. It took a while for people to pick him up as a mid. But after a while, you realize that a hero who has like pretty cheap, low cooldown spells with a lot of damage is pretty good in the mid. And having a ton of HP and tankiness is definitely a nice bonus. And there are very few heroes that Mars cannot solo kill at level 6.
Your name offends me.
Let's see if he can make it work. Of course, Void Spirit, it's a pretty stable mid laner, I would say. Even though his kit is really flashy, just the fact that he can always get his farm and then rotate to his side lane is what defines Void Spirit, I would say. Like, he doesn't lane particularly well. He doesn't have a lot of really terrible or really good matchups. When you pick Void Spirit, you know what you're gonna get. Luna taking a lot of damage, and so is the Pango. Would love to see this Luna just pick up a casual stick. With Wraith Bands being so prevalent these days, I don't think getting a wand is that good anymore. But just getting the stick in lane, it provides so much value. Jakiro getting quite low. Luna Beam coming out. Is he gonna survive? No. Blake gets the first blood on the Rubik. And Parker could be in trouble still. Doesn't have a stick. Doesn't have regen. Is there any spells up? Just 2 more hits. It's not quite gonna work. Rubik out of mana as well. So very nice pickup for Dreamers there. Spoke about this being a lane that they weren't gonna win. They were just not gonna lose it. But they are proving me wrong so far. Very nice start here for Dreamers in the top lane. They can keep up this pressure that is really bad for Luna here. Weaver taking a few hits here. Of course, we would expect PL to be relatively happy in this lane. Just getting creeps, but so far, Tide is really owning here. Of course, this is one of the reasons why they picked up Tide so early as well, as a counter to the PL, especially in lane. You're not gonna kill him, but Anchor Smash is so annoying for a melee hero without like any proper range CSing tools. Oop. SD taking some hits here. It's gonna go down. It's really not a lot of fun to play SD into Tidehunter Weaver. There's so much minus armor and slow and damage, and you can disrupt one person, but doesn't really change anything. He's getting his bottle refilled really close to level 6 here. Curious to see what he wants to do with that first arena. Does have it now, has a TP ready and a soul ring. Doesn't have boots though, which makes rotating a little bit more difficult. There's a bit of a stack here, but Luna doesn't really clean it up that well yet. Also curious to see which build the PL is gonna go for. Ooh. I did miss a bit of a kill there. First rotation here by the mice, dropping the arena, getting the kill on the Luna. Void Spirit is level 6 too, but doesn't appear like he's really in a position where he can rotate. Doesn't have a lot of mana, no runes. Chikiro is coming to try and secure top. It is gonna be a DD. But Rubik gets the deny. He's gonna give his life for it, so probably not worth it. At least no one else died.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Pongo getting some nice solo XP here. His level 6 is also gonna be a pretty big timing.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Gonna have treads on PL. And he did pick up a stick. It's very hard to play without a stick against the Tide. So far only the Mars for Dreamer is really doing well here. Just Arcane Boots coming up for Pongo. It is as I expected, where both teams are quite content just farming away, getting some levels before really tuning up the aggression. There's neutral items coming out as well. Ooh, and we see Void Spirit coming in here. Doesn't have any points into the Aether Remnant, but they do scan out the Shadow Demon. They do find him. Just a quick zip. The Simulate is missed. It's a very slow kill. They do commit the second zip for it as well. There is gonna be no response because at the same time we have a kill attempt on Jakiro. A bit of an unfortunate telekinesis there. But they are gonna get the kill still. Mars rotated in as well, and they have a catapult here. If they can keep it alive, this tower is definitely gonna go down. Same thing could be said for this tower here. There is no catapult. Unfortunately did die, but with Tide just killing the creeps efficiently, the towers are gonna be traded. Same time, PL rotated to the mid lane to try and soak up some of that farm left behind by the mice. The towers are gonna be traded out here. Slight advantage so far for SG though. Ooh. Jakiro running in, getting speared. I don't think this is a place where you wanna walk right now as a Jakiro. Try to get down some vision. But yeah, even with vision, I don't think this is a place you wanna go. Because you just lost your tier 1 tower there, you don't see anything. The Radiant jungle is probably the safest place for the Dire to be right now. Looks like they aren't quite done yet. Gonna see a disruption onto KXY. He's gonna be fine. We're aware of the lags here. I'm solo casting, so it's quite hard to balance all of the settings. I'll see what I can fix during the game, and if that doesn't work, we'll fix it in the next one. Jakiro soaking up the XP and the farm in this top lane. This is the reason why you pick Jakiro, and why people love picking Jakiro, because you can de-push lanes, and that's like an excuse for farming and stealing creeps from your coys, because it's like, it's a dead lane, guys. It's not safe for you guys. I'll take all the farm. Don't worry about me. Arena not quite gonna be enough to kill the Weaver, and it's gonna be a nice turnaround by KXY. And a solo kill from the Pongo as well. Really unfortunate. Maybe even the Jakiro doesn't want to go top.
Mid tower could use a little help.
It's not safe even for him. Weaver's still no level 6, but he should be able to get it soon. Also interesting to see Parko on his Luna. Not going for a Mask of Madness, just instant Manta. It is a decent Manta game, but it's not amazing. Like, there is no real debuffs you can purge, aside from maybe the lucky shot. And buying Manta for like pushing lanes is quite bad against Shadow Demon. It's just an excuse to give away more illusion, but we're gonna see a kill attempt onto Draken. They know he doesn't have the role right now.
Someone took out.
Almost every single spell missed though, and he's gonna be completely fine. Oof, that is really unfortunate. Pango is quite a tanky hero at this stage, but still. Ooh, nice scan. Onto both the Mars and the Shadow Demon. Not sure who that was, but oh, it's gonna be in vain. That is so sad. That was a wonderful scan. But then Parker just went for the greedy route outside of the base. Oof, must feel bad. At the same time, Blake getting gone on here. Just to go for the TP out. Not gonna work though. So much damage from the Weaver. Insane.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Bit of pressure going on the mid lane, but Tide is so good at just running in front of things and making sure pushes don't happen. Ooh, see a zip coming out on the Mice once again. So much magic damage. Did I mention that Mice is a tanky hero? Well, not against this SG lineup. My goodness, just absolutely melting. Tide has his Helm of Iron Will. Finishing up his HOD. Gonna be going for a Blink Dagger next. I always think Tide builds are quite interesting, but we see a kill attempt onto PL, and I'm not sure if he can make it out. It's gonna be fine, actually. It could be the Weaver. No, Weaver is also fine. Everyone is fine today. So glad to see that.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Weaver trying to cancel the clarity. Jimmy Koff is having none of it. Instant time lapse coming out. He's just gonna skittle away. Rubik picking up the Swarm, which could be the thing that opens up Roche for them. But aside from having the Swarm, they don't really have great Roshan heroes. We're gonna see a roll and an Arena coming out here. Lots of damage. Luna instantly going down despite the Ravage. And Tide could be in trouble too. He's a tanky hero. But is he tanky enough to survive all of this magic damage? The answer seems to be yes so far. 300 HP. Has some stick charges. 70 HP. Is he gonna be fine here? No, he gets sniped by the spear. But KXY is here going for a double zip. Once again, so much damage onto the Mars, but he's out of mobility now. Beautiful steal by Rubik. So much damage coming out onto this Void Spirit, and he's not gonna survive. On the sideline, we see Shadow Demon coming down as well. An absolute bloodbath here in the mid lane, and it's not done yet. Kraken picking up Witch? I guess it's Witch. Picking up the Jakiro in the mid lane too. But that was a 4-for-2 in the end. Huge win for Dreamers. Despite the Ravage being used. Oof, that must feel bad for SG. They really need to wait for this BKB on their Luna because they're not having fun. Mars almost has his Blink Dagger. Has a juicy Arcane Rune as well. He's gonna have an Arena in 5 seconds, so should be able to set something up with it. It's just a level 1 Arena for now, but it's still a lot of damage. See a Macro Pyre coming out, but it seems to just be an harassment Macro Pyre. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Another smoke coming out from Dreamers. Let's see if they can find something here. If they run into Weaver, that's like the worst possible result. Smoke gets broken for Migi. But the blink wasn't scouted out. We see a beautiful spear coming out. Do they have the chain stun? They should be able to get it. Ooh, and Weaver could be in trouble now as well. Another spear coming out. There is a time lapse. He's gonna be able to get it off. Can he escape here? The answer is yes. Weaver can escape.
What's with all the scribbling?
Deceptively tanky, this little bug. And Tide is actually closing in on his blink as well, but we finally do see the arena. Spear is gonna miss, but Tide could still be in trouble. Diffusal is up for the Phantom Lancer. Tide is taking practically no damage, but a DD Mars with a God's Rebuke should do it. And down he goes once again. The start was really good for SG, but cracks are starting to form right now. With PL coming online and Mars just being so strong right now. See, this is what happens. Even when I'm solo casting. The caster's curse still happens. And Dreamers instantly lose their PL. Looks like the Void Spirit is gonna be going for Aghanims first. Pongo does have his blink now. A bit of an unfortunate direction to roll in. So they aren't gonna find the chain stun onto the Void Spirit. He's gonna make it out just fine. Crash and burn indeed, Mr. Dragon. Ma's gonna be going for a BKB next. No huge prizes there. Tide going for a blink. Ooh, this is spicy. First item, Ghost Scepter on Jakiro. Can't say I've seen too much of that yet. Oh, I love this synergy as well. With the BOTs and the HOD. Just having like a mobile teleporting beacon.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
Dreamers invading the enemy jungle. It's so unfortunate that their lineup doesn't do Roche that well. Because they have a lot of space for it. That's just the downside of having a hero like PL as a carry. Pretty nice to have, but for Roche potential it doesn't really do much.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Despite Dreamers doing well in that last fight, seems like SG is out-farming them pretty hard.
Tower's getting banged up.
And Mars could be gone on now. We see a zip into a remnant. A lot of damage coming out on his Mars. Does get off the arena though. Beautiful God's Rebuke as well. And the disruption disjointing the Ravage. And a stolen Ravage onto 4 here. And the Luna does get speared, getting soloed. She's gonna go down.
The Dire might want to
Weaver could be in trouble as well. Jakiro, your Ghost Scepter is not gonna help you here. What a beautiful steal by Blake. Turning that fight around. Your Ravage? Hell no, my Ravage. Phew. For a moment I thought Dreamers were lost there, instantly losing their Mars, but he survived just long enough. And then we had the beautiful disruption saving him from the Ravage. My goodness. The beautiful coordination here by Dreamers, and once again, Luna going down. She's top in net worth, but she's 0 and 4. This is why people tend to buy BKBs on Luna, Mr. Parker. You can have all of the agility, damage and attack speed that you want, but
tough as nails.
if you die in a fight, it doesn't do anything. There's a disruption and a blink on the Mars. Doesn't look like they're quite willing to commit here. Void Spirit is just gonna be TPing mid. Almost has his Aghanims fixed. And that's gonna be a very, very nice item for him. Just jumping into the backline. Making sure that the Shadow Demon and the Rubik can't be so annoying in these team fights. Nice spear. Not gonna do too much though. Alright, 2 zips. Ooh. Slight mistiming here. Looks like Weaver Going for the time lapse, but he's full HP. He should be fine, right? Ooh, nice spear. It was at the edge of the range. And they do get LTH. Down goes the Weaver. It's not a hugely consequential kill though. It is very doubtful that they'll be able to get an objective of this, so just a bit of nice money. Draken. Putting a bit of pressure on Witch. But he doesn't have roll, he doesn't have a diffusal, so away flies the Dragon. Same time, Void Spirit almost has his Aghanims. Luna has his Butterfly finished. Now he's going for a BKB. He really does need it.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
This is interesting as well. PL just going for a casual Yasha into Belt of Strength and then a Reaver. Ooh, once again Luna goes down. I completely missed that thinking about PL item builds. My one true passion in life. My apologies for the T2s, but once again Parker goes down. Witch is gonna go down as well. Net worth doesn't do anything if you don't do anything with it. They're not taking objectives, they're not taking Roche, so all of this money on the Luna just means more money for Dreamers whenever they take her down. Bit of pressure coming onto this tier 1, but Luna is gonna be back up soon. And they don't wanna press the issue here. Mars has fallen off a little bit in terms of momentum. BKB is still quite far away. That's the Yule's reveal from Draken. Gonna be the 2 rolls. That's gonna be the 3rd one. And the lift as well. And it is gonna be enough to take down KXY. And now Tide is gonna be in trouble as well. It's gonna be a very slow kill, but a kill nonetheless. SG kind of falling apart. They have a lot of strength in their heroes, but seems like they can't really do anything. Oh, it is gonna be a Roche attempt from Dreamers. And with Tidehunter still being dead for 30 seconds, I'm not sure what they can do about this. Maybe if they could throw in a macro power, but it looks like they don't even know that this is happening. And Parker just hitting creeps for now. Really needs that BKB. Roche is gonna be falling here. That's an Aegis for PL and soon to be a Hard as well, and I'm not completely sure how they can deal with this PL. And there is finally the BKB. I guess the recipe must have been in the courier. XY does have his Aghanims finished. Gonna be going for an E-Blade next. No huge prizes there. And finally the Weaver does finish up the Rod of Athos. It's nice if you can get Athos as a Weaver, but this is gonna delay the Aghanims so much. And at the point where he gets it, I feel like most of Dreamers are already gonna have an answer to this item. Raise a Ravage up for the Tide, but they definitely don't want to commit on PL, who has 3k HP and 2 lives to work with. Ooh. Yule's onto the Weaver. See if they have the damage. Should be able to. Yeah, with the blink. Down goes LTH once again. This should be a tier 2 secured for Dreamers. They're still behind in gold, but they're up so much in terms of map pressure and actual effectiveness of their heroes. Because in a 1v1 fight between a Luna and a PL with even net worth, it's definitely gonna be the PL winning that one. Oh, could see a bit of action on the bottom lane. Void Spirit does TP out just in time. Luna is farming pretty fast still. The advantage of not buying BKB and just buying damage item is that you tend to kill creeps pretty fast, but she did get scanned out. Has to
pretty
be
sight.
very, very careful. If she dies now, it's so, so terrible. Senses something is up and just leaves the creeps to go find some other creeps, as carry players do. Doesn't look like the Dreamers are quite done yet. We still have 150 seconds of Aegis time left. Want to make sure that they get as many towers as they can with this. SNY finished for the PL. That's even more tankiness, even more regen.
Structures for now.
They catch Weaver once again. Let's see if they can chain this up properly. And the answer is gonna be yes. Very nice play from this Pango. Keeps finding some really nice kills, and with his Yules, with his shard, with his blink, it's so easy to set up like 4 consecutive rolls. And that's a solid 6 seconds of stun.
Bad shape. The Radiant's courier's a goner. Radiant's
BKB is finished for Parker, so that could be a sign of life for SG here, who somehow are still leading in gold. Lord knows how.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
Because the Void Spirit is pretty poor, the Tide is pretty poor, their supports are pretty poor.
Lost the top tower.
It's magic. I guess it's all about Parker here. Just clicking creeps. To be fair, he's done a good job at clicking creeps. It's just everything that is not clicking creeps that was a little bit rougher this game. Let's see if we see an epic 1v1 showdown. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Maybe this showdown is more interesting. Nope. It's just Rubik with Shikuchi. And now a Blink Dagger as well. A lot of quickening chimes here. I'm surprised Parker isn't using Eclipse to activate his Quicksilver Amulet, because it's not like he wants to fight, right?
What's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
You don't need to think about Eclipse as like a damage spell for team fights. It's just
Dire's bottom
250
tower's
mana
getting the business.
to give you 3% movement speed and 20 attack speed for 2 minutes. That seems worth it, right?
Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
I mean, if that was just what the ability did, I'm sure he would have pressed it by now. Let's see if at 30... See, there we go! I told you guys. Oh man. I am a bloody mind reader. I love SA Division 2 Dota. This is just the best. Oh, I am so pleased with myself. Even if every other thing goes wrong today, I have this in my pocket and I don't need anything else. Alright, back to the game. So, still no item progression for Void Spirit. And Rubik just being so annoying here on this top lane. I feel like Shikuchi is probably one of the best spells you can steal on Rubik.
7 in a row. How about that?
And they do find Wish once again. But yeah, Weaver's abilities are kind of shit. But they need to be because Shikuchi is so good. Like the Swarm is just like dealing damage to Roche. Gemini attack is like a shitty crit. Time lapse I guess is decent, but for the most part still pretty shit. But Shikuchi, so good. So when you steal Shikuchi, you steal like 60% of Rubik's, Weaver's effectiveness.
Tower's getting the business.
Oh no! The spider legs! We lose Mars, but the real loss is the spider legs. Feels bad, man. Krios are flying out. It might be too late. It might be too late.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Right, let's see. Luna almost finishing up at Daedalus already. She is still really fat. Oh, who picked up the spider legs? I guess the Tide did. That's true Pepper Hands.
Double damage!
I guess using Eclipse was the right play there. Because there was no fight between 28 and 30 minutes. So Hats off to you, Parker, for being efficient. Once again, Rubik managed to steal Kikuchi once again. Just creating so much space here. Oh my god, Blake. You absolute madman. First the Ravage steals, now this. Oh, such a pain to play against such a Rubik player. Like, what do you even do? It has like no cooldown. Luna doesn't have the shard yet. That should definitely be the next purchase. Because Daedalus is only good when you have the 2 free hits. Ooh, and Rubik. I mean, Weaver gets a solo kill. BKB popped by the Luna. Let's see what they can do here. There is a Ravage on cooldown still. Eclipse comes out. Is it going to be enough? Phantom Lands are getting really low, but still surviving. The heart healing him up so much. Is he gonna go down 250 HP? Still fine for now. The roll dealing so much damage as well. And SG Esports need to start running away. They lost their Luna. They lost their Parker, which is like 60% of their net worth, and which goes down as well. And the KXY TP gets cancelled as well. He still has a zip. Still has to dissimulate. He can run away. He's gonna have another zip, so he should be fine. Zips in aggressively. That is very risky. Here's another dissimulate though. He seems to be fine for now, but this is a risky game that you're playing, Mr. Void Spirit. Ooh, his TP is almost ready, but he doesn't have any mobility left now. It looks like Rubik is the only one chasing, and he is gonna get out, but that was pretty spooky. At the same time though, while he was running away, PL was taking racks. I don't think Luna has buyback. No, she doesn't. So it's 15 seconds without the Luna, and that's gonna be at least the tier 3 going down here. Roche is up as well. That is definitely a point of contention here. Let's see if either team wants to commit. SG Esports is smoked right now. This could be a very good fight for them. Dreamers doesn't want to go for it, and rightfully so. Eclipse may still be down, but there is a Ravage. There is a BKB Luna. Ooh, and they actually run into the pit. Not sure if Luna can solo this. Yeah, it should be fine, especially with the Tide tanking now. Is PL gonna scout this? Alright, now it's scouted out. 50%. What do they want to do here? Luna still has the BKB, but the bash on Roche! His PL wasn't quite there, and they are gonna be able to take down Roche, most likely. Very nice roll, but SD goes down first. Can they kill his Void Spirit? The answer is gonna be yes. Nice roll onto the Luna as well, and she used her BKB to get that Aegis. So I could very well see her going down again. The Ravage wasn't that effective. Luna is gonna be falling here, most likely. Can the Tidehunter escape? With his spider legs, he should be able to. Weaver is most likely gonna be going down here as well. So SG Esports, they get the Roche, but once again, they lose their carry and they lose their mid. It should still be a Rax going in favor of Dream Eyes. And there is no buyback as well. If they know this, they very well might be able to just end the game. That is huge. Let's see, what does he want to go for? It's gonna be Rax to start out with. Guess he just doesn't want to take any risks. I don't blame him. Well, Miki gonna be taking the tier 2 here. Looks like they wanna secure Mega Creeps, maybe. They're gonna be taking down Witch as well. They could just finish still. I wonder if they realize that Luna is not buying back. They have so much time. There is no Ravage? But nah, they're just gonna go for at least 2 sets of racks. Not even sure if they can get the Megas here. Ooh. Nice swashbuckle. Racks are falling pretty fast here. Especially with the Deso. Let's see, how many stacks? Just 4 stacks. Pretty sad. We see another roll, and that's gonna be a dead Weaver too. This Pongo has been doing an amazing job. 10, 0, and 16. My goodness. They're not done yet. Luna is back up now, but why would you stop? This PL is unbeatable. You're gonna see the Weaver buyback. Eon Disc pop. Nice spear onto KXY. Is he gonna go down here? Lift as well. And once again, down goes the Void Spirit. And PL is just not taking any damage. They have no answer for the first phase PL. How? He just doesn't care about anything. And the tower is falling. Even with the macro pyre, PL just doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. Spear coming out on Wish. Now we see the Eclipse. Is there enough damage? Mars is taking a lot, and PL does actually go down here. Nice bit of chain stun, and PL finally falls. Could this be what SG Gaming needed? Or SG Esports? They have 80 seconds now, without the position 1 or the position 2 for Dreamers. What do they want to do with this time? Well, it would be ideal if they didn't lose their Weaver, but... it's gonna be fine. Beckham not getting that kill and just TPing to base. He actually has a bloody refresher orb on Pongo. Okay. I guess he really wants to roll. See, Void Spirit finally back alive. I'm not sure if I like this build this game. He's just dying to the first stun that hits him every single time. Ooh, zip in by the Void Spirit. Can he kill Blake here? Not quite. Luna is trying to push, but this is what I spoke about. Luna against Shadow Demon is such a struggle. Just the illusions, and they're not gonna get a single tier 3 even. Luna going for a refresher. Recognizing that she probably needs 2 BKBs. Because 6 seconds isn't gonna be enough to kill a PL. It's barely even gonna be enough to kill a Rubik at this pace. Let's see, Roche is not gonna be up for a while. I wonder if Dreamers is gonna wait for this Roche or just push their advantage. Oh, nice smoke on the cliff. Luckily he does have a blink. Ninja gear for tight. He doesn't have a refresher or anything, he just has a BKB. I feel like he needs to BKB and get the hell out. He's gonna try to run away, but this is just gonna seal his fate. Oh. Is he gonna be able to blink out? Just 1 more second. But even the blink, yeah, he should have just TP'd home. It just feels kind of effortless for Dreamers at this point. Just keep finding pickoffs left and right, and it feels like just a macro game plan for SG Esports isn't really there. They're just running around, farming creeps, but just judging from their play, I'm not sure what their actual plan is. I guess they have a DD rune and a refresher on Luna, which could be some kind of timing here. But it feels rough. Because if they make a single mistake, they're just gonna lose Megas. I'm not sure if, even with a Luna, they're gonna be able to defend it. Because this Luna has 30k net worth and 2k HP. If we compare that to the PL, who has 2.4k net worth and more than twice the HP, it does tell a certain story here about greed and greed being bad. Don't go for the 2k HP carry build, kids. Then again, I'm not sure if a long fight would favor SG either.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
Dreamer is setting up in this top lane. It looks like they might want to wait for Roche. Could spawn in 70 seconds. The Satanic now on Mice as well. He's gonna be even more difficult to take down. Just very disciplined play from Dreamers. Only giving up 14 kills in 40 minutes. Their cores having 0, 2 and 5 deaths respectively. Not too bad there. And poor Luna. She is by far the richest hero on the map, and aside from the Jakiro, she's died the most. Feels bad.
Your name offends me.
Just both teams chilling, waiting for the big guy. Ooh, they could get a pick off here. That would be pretty big with Roche potentially spawning in 5 seconds. Void is very far forward. Once again, can he get out? Doesn't look like it, and he's gonna fall once again. He does have buyback. And Roche is gonna be a very long spawn. Ooh, I heard a neon disc popping as well. I'm not sure which one that was. The Pungo? Yeah, it was the Pungo. It's a bit unfortunate. Looks like Dreamers does want to force the buyback here, and rightfully so. Even though the Void Spirit isn't really a huge threat, it's still rather play without him having buyback. I mean, he does need to buy back. See an initiation here. And Pango needs to be careful. He's gonna go down. That is the downside of the Eon Disc popping there. You might have to just trade buybacks. Actually, no, Roche doesn't spawn, so this death on Pango doesn't really matter too much, because he's gonna be up before the Roche spawns. Of course, Dreamers doesn't know this. They don't know when Roche is gonna spawn, so he might feel inclined to buy back anyway. Would be a really sick play from SG to just run into the pit with a few heroes, like stay there for 10 seconds. Just to like pretend to Roche, force the buyback.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like Dreamers wants to go for it. He's gonna throw the spirit, try and get vision, but doesn't quite work. A lot of illusion clearing happening here. But at the same time, this bottom lane is pushing in. It's so difficult to play a stalemate like this as SG Esports when both mid lane and bot lane are constantly being pushed in. You can like survive a stalemate for that like maybe 2 to 3 minutes. But after that, you're gonna start losing buildings. So this slow Roche spawn is super unfavorable for SG. This creep wave is just gonna get bigger and bigger. Yeah, and Void Spirit needs to TP back. And of course, this is when Roche is about to spawn. Because Gaben just doesn't want SG Esports to win. Let's take a look at the buyback, shall we? No buyback on Piel, but he's gonna have it very soon. Most important heroes are gonna have it except for Void Spirit and Luna. Because she bought a Divine Rapier. At the same time, Wish is gonna go down. An initiation onto the Piel, but Piel actually bought a BKB. That's why he doesn't have buyback. Just goes on the Luna, and Luna doesn't get off the BKB. She goes down. Rapier on the floor, picked up by Piel, and that should be the end of the game. Because Luna doesn't have buyback, and Piel has a Rapier. Ravage was used, but there is no refresher, and I just don't see how SG Esports can come back from this. I mean, Piel is going for the Roche now, which I guess is fine, but it's not even necessary. If you have a refresher on Luna, just use your BKB, because you have 2 of them. Don't take the risk to get stunned, because you know that the first time you're gonna get stunned is gonna be the last time you're getting stunned, because they have so much control on this Dreamers lineup. Once again, Weaver goes down, Jakiro is gonna go down as well, most likely, and he already bought back, so I would expect to see the GG here.
How about that?
Tidehunter also doesn't have buyback. Can Void Spirit and Tide 2v5 here. 2v6 even. Yeah, and GG is called here. It had been coming for a while. Very solid game by Dreamers. I am quite surprised that SG struggled so much with this PL opener. It just didn't really feel like they had an answer. Especially the Luna pick was very strange to me. They saved the pick for the absolute last possible second. And then they picked a unfavorable matchup. Like Luna against PL is like 60-40 in the favor of PL, but with a Shadow Demon in the game as well, it's just a terrible hero to pick. I guess they wanted to go for some kind of early timing where Tide doesn't take any damage from the PL, and the Luna like is 6k net worth above the PL. But if you want to go for such a game plan, you shouldn't go Butterfly second item on Luna. You should just buy a BKB and start hitting towers. Just felt like the game plan for SG Esports was a little bit off. But that's okay, because this is just game number 1. And we're gonna be going into a little bit of a break. And then afterwards we're gonna be bringing you game number 2. And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna try to fix the lag issues. So stay tuned and we will be back.